I was talking to a man one day, and he showed me a picture of what was him fishing, but it had been him at least 25, 30 years earlier. And as he shows me the picture, he says, I still think I'm that guy. And I think I know what he meant by that. In our minds, we usually don't feel or think that we're as old as we are. When you're young, you think that anyone older than you is old, and it just kind of stays that way until you start to see how many people are younger than you. For me, it happened at least one time when I was visiting a person in the hospital, and the person I was visiting introduced me to her doctor. And I recognized that the doctor, who was also a female, was clearly younger than me. And that was one of the first times that I realized that I was getting old, when doctors were now older than I was. Hey, this is 3 for Thursday for January 20th, 2022. Thanks for watching. There's a couple reasons I want to talk about this thing today. First off, my oldest child, Ethan, is 20 years old today, so happy birthday, Ethan. I doubt he watches these, but you can wish him a happy birthday, and I'll get that message to him. And as I was working through what I wanted to say today, I also realized that for many, this may come as a shock to you, but I'm going to be 50 years old this year. It's a shock to me. I'm sure my old youth group kids thought that I was 50 years old, 10 years ago. But the other reason I want to talk about this is my grandfather, who was 95, 96, 97, he passed away a few days ago, and we're going to have his funeral next week. But even when he was into his 90s, he would go out to a restaurant and comment about people that were 30 years younger than him and say, look at those old people over there, as if he wasn't 30 years older than they were. And it just solidifies and those stories all just solidify in my mind that we never really feel as old in our minds as we actually are. Unless, there's chronic pain or illness or something like that. And we usually I think we're younger than we physically are. But I was reading through scripture, and there's lots of stories about, I hate to say the phrase old people, let's say more experienced. There's lots of stories about more experienced people in scripture still serving God faithfully. You think about Sarah bearing a child. Moses has 80 years of leadership training before God lets him lead the people out of Egypt. There's Caleb, who in Joshua chapter 14, at 85 years old, he says, give me this hill country. And the hill country he's talking about is the one with giants in it. There's a man named Barzillai in 2 Samuel 19:32 who was serving the king, I believe it was. So here's what I wanted to say today in the brief time I have left. I don't care how old or young you are. In Isaiah chapter 46, verses 3 and 4, God writes through the prophet Isaiah, says this, listen to me, house of Jacob, all the remnant of the house of Israel who've been sustained from the womb, carried along since birth. I will be the same until your old age, and I will bear you up when you turn gray. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will bear and rescue you. We grow older every day, whether we realize it or not, but God never changes. So let that be a comfort to you today, that He will still be God, even when we have become those old people that we used to, those experienced people that we used to think were older than we are. God bless. Have a great day.